Was there any scenario where you envisage that Nigeria will get to this point where we are now under President Tinubu? Did you ever conceive that we would ever arrive at this point that you described?
No. I began to think this way, that care is not taken, we will inadvertently, find Nigeria in this kind of a very precarious situation where Nigeria will become like an accident waiting to happen. Why did I say so? You see, at the tail end of Buhari's administration, it appeared to me that the government was in total disarray. They lost focus, not only in terms of governance, but also in terms of continuity.
Exactly.
So, and any government that does not have succession, plan on who succeeds me and how do we go forward, what do you find? It's where we are today. Because we're in a kind of a roller coaster at that time. Where you land was anyone's guess, and that's where we land today. Anybody can guess that, okay, we can be here or there and what have you. So that's what happened. That's why some of us are not surprised that Nigeria is in this kind of total mess, that no checks and balances, the governance itself does not respect what you call the rule of law, the tenets of democracy, which says that everybody should be treated equally, is no longer there. If you look at the distribution of the offices, you find that what Bola Ahmed Tinubu is operating is completely, an alien to democracy. It's just that Bola Ahmed Tinubu's system of, taking everything and not give a damn to whatever consequences are going to be, because he believes that this is a government of no consequence, as far as he's concerned. There's no consequence, for any action that he took. I ask you a question. Have you ever thought of reasons why we went on a ridiculous, change of the national anthem that we used to sing? I mean, you have something that is homegrown, so to speak, that you should be proud of, and you say that, no, we should go back to the colonial days, the mentality, the slavery mentality, we should go back to that one, those who gave us this one. So, I think what he was trying to do, Bola Ahmed Tinubu was trying to test the intelligence of Nigerians. And if they will accept, no matter how ridiculous or stupid, any idea will be able to accept it. That's why I say, okay, let's change the national anthem. For what reason? Nations are changing even the name given to them by colonial masters. Look at Burkina Faso, look at, other countries like that, But we are going back to the colonial days, I just brought it in for you to know that this guy, not only is he here to obliterate, what is called, democratic governance, but to also make you look stupid as Nigerians. And he believes that we are stupid, that anything that he brings out, people will take it. And that's what has been happening. Look at the structure of the government itself, the way it is. The most important sector of the economy that would have brought people together as a united people in Nigeria is the financial sector. Because who affected by the financial sector of the economy? Everybody is affected, isn't it? So now, you put that in just one ethnic group control. From the Minister of Finance to Central Bank to NIRS, they call it, to customs, to anything that is productive that will bring money is headed by a Yoruba man, and you are Yoruba yourself. So, it doesn't make sense that you corner the country, the resources of the country, and even the thinking, everything about Nigeria, you cornered it, and when tomorrow comes, what are you going to do? Tomorrow will come. You do all these things. So when tomorrow comes, what do? Because when tomorrow comes means that when the power now moves from where it is now to another place, our only prayer is that you have a government like ADP government, because our government believes in one Nigeria. We believe everybody should be given equal opportunity. It should be based on merit, not necessarily on ethnicity or something like that, because that cannot get us anywhere. It creates enmity, suspicion, hatred. Because when what belongs to me, you have taken it to give to yourself and only your own, people. What are you doing to me? I'll begin to now feel, unease that why am I not considered as, qualified to occupy this position? And I'm a Nigerian. I say, oh, okay, because I'm not a Yoruba man, that's why they won't give it to me. That is bad for us, And we had expected that a person of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as far as democratic, qualifications is concerned, who has grown through the mills, like you can say, rose through the mills, as far as democracy is concerned, will not tolerate this kind of thing for future, because he knows that the growth of democracy depends on how people feel about that system. And how people feel about the system is how they are treated. You are treated equally, there will be what we call national unity. But the fastest way to destroy national unity is what Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing. So that Nigeria will not be united, after he is gone. But he will fail. Another government will come and will actually allow Nigerians to enjoy democracy. That you don't have to be a Yoruba man or a Hausa man or Igbo man or whatever man before you get access to governance and be able and enjoy, what democracy says, those deliverables that we talk about democracy, you enjoy it regardless of your ethnicity, origin, or something. That's what we are going to bring to Nigeria, and that's what should be.
Alhaji, why I'm smiling? Because you're accusing me. I'm a Yoruba man.
No.
You're accusing me on behalf. No, hold on, Alhaji. You're accusing me on behalf of all Yoruba people. I'm a Yoruba man, and I am not guilty. Yoruba people are not guilty, because to be fair, Alhaji, I know a lot of us Yoruba people who know that this is not a Yoruba government. I hope you agree that this is not a Yoruba government.
Yes, let me.
Are you being fair to Yorubas generally?
Yes.
By saying that he's a Yoruba Tinubu.
Yes, I'll tell you why.
They have Yoruba names.
I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I'll tell you why. Okay. In this country, the most organized people, achievement concerned people, aggressive people, in this country today, Nigeria, are the Yoruba people. Their cultural organizations are very strong. They listen to each other, and then this in Yoruba, the elders, is religiously, respected. So where are the Yoruba elders? Where are they today? Where are they keeping quiet? The unfortunate thing is that he has given a lie to what Yoruba people represent. As strongly united people, which I envy, because it's responsible for the kind of progress you find in the Yoruba lands and the Yoruba person. They are not laybacks, I'm telling you. So it cannot be. There must be a way by which the Yorubas can call, Bola Ahmed Tinubu to order that Yoruba did not start and is not going to stop with you. Tomorrow will come. How do you want us to fare in this country, Nigeria? Or you want to divide Nigeria? Maybe after your administration, we'll go on our way. We'll have our own country, and then say bye-bye to Nigeria. And that will not be fair.
These are serious stuff you're saying, Alhaji. These are very serious and very sobering for me as a part of that nationality. These are very serious.
But
it worries most of us, actually. Some of us were really worried.
You remember people like Chief Awolowo, the kind of thing that the man did, how he brought people from various parts of the country together, in order to have a united, Nigeria. He believed very strongly in one Nigeria, But he also believes that the Yoruba people should also be equipped adequately with what they require. Which, okay, that's fine. But he did that when you had the regions, isn't it? Every region was to cater for itself, and he chose the path that will strengthen what is called Yoruba, for generations yet unborn, which is okay. So you come as a leader, unfortunately or fortunately, you are now a leader of the nation called Nigeria, So you should emulate somebody like Awolowo and give Nigerians, the kind of equipment in terms of education, in terms of opportunities to wealth.
That will all give the Yorubas.
Because at that point, Chief Awolowo was leading the Yorubas. And I can assure you, if Chief Awolowo was given opportunity to run this country, he will do exactly what he did for the Yorubas for every Nigerian. Because that is his orientation, that's his mentality.
That was why the late Inke Ojukwu said the best president
Nigeria never had. Yes. So, but you came, and that's why I say it's giving a lie to what everybody believes about a Yoruba person. That he can be controlled.
This is sobering, sir. What you're saying is very sobering. It's very, very sobering.
No, but it's the truth.
It's very sobering. I can't argue with you. It's very sobering because the fact speaks for itself.
Yeah. We condemn Buhari to an extent.
Exactly.
But you can forgive Buhari. You know why? Buhari came from a background that is mechanistic. That is a military background. He has to probably reinvent himself to now understand democracy and then be a Democrat and things like that. So those things, you probably can say, okay, these people, they don't know anything. It's like, the military, they are within their cycle. In fact, they are more united than us, we civilians. So maybe he came with that kind of mentality and did not try to venture, beyond that cycle that he's used to or something like that. But you, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you've traveled wide, You're
cosmopolitan.
Street smart. Exactly. So this is why some of us are surprised that why what happened, and you can go on and on like that.
Yes. I don't know how many people that will agree with you because the Buhari government you referenced, because for me, President Buhari would have been better off as a cleric. As a Muslim cleric. That was how clean the man was. He had his failings as a human being, but he cut the figure of a cleric, a Muslim cleric, for me.
Yeah.
And so he failed in governance. But the biggest failure for me, I would have winked over every other failure if he got that one right. You referenced it, succession. And that is what being educated teaches you that, success without a successor is failure.
Yeah.
A leader, even after you've failed, one thing you must always put your eye on is that who is going to succeed me? Either carry on my legacy or do the things I did not do.